Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to This Angel Mystic Tarot. So today we are gonna just do a collective reading. We have some things going on in the astrology. Mercury has stationed direct. We're still in the post shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, but things are starting to move again. Delays are lifting. And there is a Jupiter conjunction that is bringing a lot of action. Okay. And this is going to be over a few months, 1 or 2 months, as we go into 2026. There's going to be more momentum towards the things that we're trying to create in our life. And if you are a Gemini, especially Gemini ascendant, sun, moon, or rising, you could be going back to school. You could be pursuing something. If you have been single for a long period of time, a lot of you guys could actually connect with people and expand your fortune. Okay. There's something about motivation and inspiration and momentum and action towards the things that we've had laying idle in 2025. Okay. And because 2026 is the year number 10, that's an ending and a beginning. We have the Hanged Man coming out. In this deck, the Hanged Man is sacrifice. So I feel like with this energy, there are sacrifices we're going to have to make in order to achieve certain goals that we want. And the Hangman goes upside down to get a different perspective, to think about things differently, and to really prophesize, because we're prophesizing, we're imagining what will happen. So we're taking a step back. It's like um, God is putting you in a timeout. That's what we are currently leaving. That energy, the Hanged Man energy, stalls, delays, being put in timeout. Okay, and letting go and letting God. And that's the energy that we're coming out of. All right. So let's see what a lot of you guys are going to be experiencing as we transition from year number 9 to year number 10. The year number 9, karmic ties being finalized. A lot of people don't know this, but in numerology, 10 isn't an ending, it's the culmination. The 9 is the ending. The 9 is the wrapping it up. The 9 is the realization that something's got to change, something's got to go. And then the 10 is both finalizing that. Like, let's say you want to move. I've made the decision that I want to move, or that I want to quit my job, or that I want a new relationship. That's 9. And then number 10 is signing the divorce papers, is giving your notice, is packing things up and moving. Okay. Because it's also the tail of the beginning. And I'm being general, you guys, because y'all are on different stages of your growth and your ascension. And I feel like we are having a collective. What does a collective mean? All the people in the world are having a global realization of spirituality thanks to the internet. Okay, we're waking up to the fact that astrology is real, that psychic endeavors isn't woo-woo. It just is telepathy. Okay, we're getting in touch with things. We're having a collective unconscious awakening. Aliens. This has actually really been coming out a lot. This is the lovers energy. In this deck, the aliens is lovers. Now, you know, the history of the lovers card is such that it wasn't about love. It was about a choice. It was about a decision. It was about the divine intervening in your life, in whatever you have going on. The divine intervenes. The angels come in, the guides come in, our downloads are happening, and it's saying it's like the Garden of Eden, the story of the Garden of Eden, and when Eve bites the apple. That's what the lovers is. Okay, and it's like giving you an opportunity to decide if something is right for you. A relationship is right for you, a job path is right for you, and whatever. Is it right? Is it right enough for you that you're actually going to make the sacrifice to make it happen? So that's what's happening. It's a God, angel, divine intervention to ask you, is that man or woman worth you upheaving your whole life to have them? Okay, but also, I was talking about this in another live I did. Aliens are real. Aliens are real, and we have alien technology. So the lovers in this deck, as it being aliens, is saying that do you have a fear of people that are different from you, people from another planet, people from another country, the opposite gender? Are there people that you, if they're not like you, that you do not like? That's what that means in this deck. Okay, so hello. A lot of you guys are questioning whether something is worth a sacrifice. You're re examining it, you're looking at it. Is it worth the risks to go for that partner, to go for that job, to move far away? You really got to ask yourself these questions. And I know here it is, the Wheel of Fortune, destiny, change. That's what the lovers is. It's a question. It's a tapping you on the shoulder and asking you, does God approve? Do your angels approve? Because if so, you're going to have to make that change. You're going to have to do that thing. You're going to have to swallow your pride and apologize. Destiny. And relationships are fated. They absolutely are. But we have to know when it's safe to sacrifice for a relationship. Because a lot of the times you blow up your life, you know, marrying someone or pursuing someone just to have it completely ruined. And that is another lesson. And I say this all the time on here, you guys, because I know a lot of you guys come on here to ask about Tom, Billy, Joe, Sarah. Do they care about me? You should be asking different questions. Okay. You should be asking yourself, are they safe? Do you even really like them? Does God want you to be with that person? God, angels, source, whatever. Because if the answer is no, then you are sabotaging yourself by making sacrifices for someone who's going to destroy what you have going on. So take that deeper lesson. And I feel like a lot of the signs are learning that this year. 10 of Swords. Read the book of your life. How does it end if you connect with that person who cheated on you, who lied to you, who betrayed you, who doesn't care about you? How does the story end if you connect with that ex who leaves you unread? And if you go after that person, it's totally fine. It's your life. But you could completely get hurt or destroyed pursuing that. So ask yourself these questions. And that's that Ten of Swords energy. So really, our guides, our angels, whatever's out there, they don't want us to do that. Okay. It's like if your grandma is watching you, let's say your grandma has passed away, or your grandpa has passed away, or your aunt or your uncle, or somebody who really cared about you. They're in the afterlife. Okay. Our ancestors are people that we haven't even met. A lot of us, they're looking down on us and they're saying, do not date that person. Do not take that job. They are guiding us. They don't want us. They're living vicariously through us, so much so that they're giving you synchronicities and signs and destroying things that they don't want you to have. And if you're completely oblivious, completely rebellious to the divine, to the ancestors, and to the grand, the grand design of life or your fate, because it's predestined, you're going to struggle. You're going to get betrayed. You're going to get hurt. Sometimes those things happen because they make you pivot your life, but other times you need to avoid it. And if you don't know how to read the signs and the synchronicities and be in touch with your ancestors, then it is going to be a lot harder for you. So, Ace of Wands. Yes, we're seeing the Ace of Wands. We're going to be seeing a lot of aces because we're at the end of 2025. So what lights your flame? Okay, we have this candle, this yellow candle, to bring in happiness and luck. And I'm hearing the song by the Doors, "Come on, baby, light my fire." What really lights your fire? You know what I mean? Like, what makes you excited to wake up? What makes you feel good to get out of bed? Your relationship is not going well. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you going to do about it? That's the real question. What are you going to do about it? So Ace of Wands here, going after something bigger and better. What makes you feel good and happy and inspired? And I love that for the signs because if you don't feel inspired to connect with someone, then why do it? Out of routine, out of comfort, out of fear of the unknown. And the Five of Pentacles has also been coming out a lot because I know that a lot of people are struggling financially. And we make decisions out of scarcity mindset. Sometimes we stay in relationships because we don't have the money to leave. That's the reality. Sometimes we stay with people who don't want us because we have abandonment issues. And Five of Pentacles, okay, you see how that person is in the cave and they're curled up and they're scared. The fives are fear. This is real life, you guys. I'm not going to come on here and promise you that Dave is going to text you back. Who cares? There's something bigger and better that you can be doing with your life than waiting for a text or a call or somebody to validate you. You need to get out of this mindset of fear, okay? Because I get it. You don't want to be alone, but at the end of the day, you also don't want to connect with somebody who will still make you feel alone. So, Five of Pentacles, and how can we get out of this struggle and strife? Guess what? A lot more people are feeling that. It's not just you. So don't feel, like you're alone in your suffering. Okay. Suffering is the number one rule in Buddhism. To be human is to suffer. And what are we going to do with that suffering? How are we going to alleviate it? Because it's up to you at the end of the day. It's not up to me. It's not up to tarot. It's not even up to God 100%. It is up to you to make the changes. We have destiny. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have all the good things that can happen and that come in if you make the sacrifices. So, what is that for you on an individual level? Will you utilize this energy, this astrology, the good astrology? 2025 had a lot of bad astrology in it, you guys. It had a lot of upheavals, okay? It had a lot of global and economic struggles, and it does affect you on a personal level. And a lot of people are still in this Mercury retrograde timeout, Four of Swords lighting. I'm sitting here lighting a candle and reading to you. This is what we're doing. The Four of Swords is I want to rest, want to break. Maybe your sleep cycle has been perturbed. We have a full moon coming up on December 4th, which is tomorrow. And that energy can actually, it can disrupt your sleep cycle. So make sure you're paying attention to your sleep cycles. Make sure you're taking a break. But also, if you have went through something traumatic, you don't want to feel pain anymore. You don't want to fight. The Four of Swords comes after the Three of Swords. So a lot of you guys have, experienced rejection, emotional pain, and now you just want to rest. You just want to break from that. You don't want to experience that anymore. Okay, you don't want to fight. You don't want to feel bad. Nobody does. So take that time that you need. If you're not ready to take inspired action, maybe now it's time to just make the plans and to reframe things in your mind because it all starts with the mind. Everything starts with the mind. All right, Three of Wands. This Three of Wands energy has been coming out a lot, and it's an energy of waiting, like I said before, because it's a knowing, it's an inner knowing that better days are coming, that something's happening for you, right? It's, and I say this all the time with this Three of Wands energy, because in the Rider Waite deck there is a man and he's standing in front of a pool of water and he's looking out waiting for the ships to come in. That's literally what it means in the Rider Waite, like Castaway, like Tom Hanks and Castaway. I don't think he knew that his ships were coming in to rescue him, but there has to be an inner knowing that things will get better. Otherwise, you won't do anything, right? Three of Wands. I know things will get better. I know that the sun will set. Sure as heck, the sun will rise tomorrow. Yes, it will. Whatever is happening to you, the sun will still rise tomorrow, whether or not you see it where you are in the world. Good things happen. Good luck happens in cycles. Okay. So it's good to remember that. I might be down right now, but I know I have the tenacity and the ego to get up and go after what I want. If it's love, maybe you need a new lover. Maybe you need to go to counseling or therapy so that you can understand why your relationships have not been working. Take the accountability. I'm not one of those readers who is going to come on here and say that it's all the other person's fault. Because, yeah, maybe they weren't great, but why did you choose them? Why did you pick them from a subconscious level? Six of Pentacles. Yes, you know what? This is going to be coming out for a lot of the signs because it's Christmas and could be going broke buying gifts. I am not a consumer person. I don't believe in consumerism. I'm not going to go broke buying people gifts. I don't think gifts solve anything, but a lot of you could be experiencing that right now. Maybe someone's going to give you a gift and that could brighten your day. Okay. Six of Pentacles. But this is also an equal exchange of energy, knowing where to put your energy, knowing who to invest in, knowing if it's going to be returned to you. If you get something for somebody and they don't give it back to you, they don't pay it back to you, then it might not be a good idea to do that for someone in the future. But also, what is the intention behind you doing things for people? Are you doing things for people, giving them love and affection because you want something out of it? Because if you do that, you will end up getting hurt. Two of Cups. This is a relationship energy. I love how this deck has lightning and it has beakers. Like if you're doing a science experiment. Because guess what? Relationships are all about chemistry. And I don't mean chemistry as in a spark of attraction between two people. No, I mean genetics. I mean pheromones. I mean dopamine. I mean all the chemicals, the love drugs that get released in our head. It's pre coded in your genetics. The type of people that you attract, friends, family members, lovers, all of that is about chemistry. And I don't mean attraction. I mean your DNA. I mean pheromones. If you don't know what pheromones are, look it up. So you might be, from a biological perspective, attracting people that you maybe in retrospect realize that wasn't a good idea. And it can be really difficult to supersede or overcome your biology, your chemistry, your chemical makeup when it comes to attraction because it's biological, meaning you might realize that you've been attracting a certain type of person and you would like to attract a different type of person, but but because of your biology or your chemistry or your upbringing, you're still going to want that type of person. So anyways, there is a wanting to connect with. Now the Two of Cups isn't always romantic. Sometimes it's a friendship, sometimes it's family. It's the holidays, we're going to be connecting with people. Two of Cups, there is some sort of feeling of bored. Four of Cups comes out a lot in my readings because I understand a lot of people are unhappy with the state of reality. Four of Cups is the Buddha sitting under the tree asking, is that all there is? It's a feeling unfulfilled. It's a not wanting what's right in front of you. It's Aunt Sally getting you a pair of socks that you don't like, and they're like, oh, is there anything else there for me? That's an example of the Four of Cups. And this really is, he's like smelling something here, smelling salt or something like that. You could be feeling very unfulfilled in relationships or in the state of your current reality. Once again, to suffer is human. What do we do with that suffering? What do we do with that questioning? Do you make changes or do you just, wallow in self pity? This is kind of like a wallowing energy. King of Cups. King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. I feel like in all of my readings, I'm going to be doing the earth signs later. Okay, I'm going to be pre-recording that, so you can watch out for that. A lot of people want a new relationship, or they want their relationship to be different. They want um, their relationship to change. And the reality of that is that people have free will. They don't have to change, you know. So the King of Cups, I love the King of Cups in this deck because this is the King of Cups, sorry. The King of Cups in this deck is like a therapist or a doctor. You see how he's a very creative individual. It doesn't matter about the gender, but there is a man here sitting by the fireplace with the galaxy on his mind. It's very creative. It's very beautiful. And the King of Cups is maturing emotionally. So a lot of you guys out there are maturing your emotions. You're becoming more emotionally mature, and it's affecting your relationships if you're already in one. A lot of people are outgrowing their partners because they're ascending. They're learning how to control their emotions. They're not being so reactive. Maybe you go to therapy and now you have therapy speak, or maybe you watch therapy videos. There's something here about becoming more emotionally mature. It's like I have a lot of love to give, and I am not the type of lover who's petty or who's reactive. It's a very innocent and pure heart. And the problem with that is that the collective has been connecting with people who are not a match for them emotionally. We're connecting with people who are less emotionally mature than us, and it's causing a lot of conflict, disappointment, frustration, and it's a realization that the collective is having that they've maybe outgrown a particular type of person. And that makes it even more difficult to find someone if that's what you're looking for. Okay. And so that's why, especially because we're at the end of the year, you're thinking about Ace of Cups, a new offer of love or fulfillment here, because the Ace of Cups isn't always love. It's something new that comes into your life that gives you emotional fulfillment. That can be a new book, a new outfit. It can be a new TV show. It can be a new romantic partner. And it can be a new hobby. But because we're outgrowing old paradigms, that's why we're craving something new. And it's important to lean into that. It's important to ask yourself where that's coming from. Why am I desiring that? I didn't know that I wanted a partner who was more mature. Or I didn't know that I was so bored in my life. That's what's causing me stress. That maybe now I just need to go have some fun. Ace of Cups is fun. It's beautiful. But, in relationships, it's not, it just means that you want things differently. You want newness. Even if you don't leave a current partner, you want the relationship to feel new again, to feel exciting, to feel fun, to feel fulfilling. So, maybe it's like, okay, my partner and I just sit on the couch. Maybe we need to go on more dates. And if my partner doesn't want to fulfill me emotionally, then maybe I need a new one. Okay, those are questions to ask yourself. Seven of Wands. This comes out a lot when we're dealing with people that have trauma, or, when we're dealing with relationships that aren't a good match for us. Seven of Wands is fighting for your convictions, it's boundaries, it's blocking energies. And it comes out a lot in the readings because we develop trust issues. We develop walls around our hearts, or we learn that we have to stand up to our partner so we could be happier in a relationship. Relationships are all about boundaries. And if you don't have boundaries, you could get walked all over or taken advantage of or hurt. Okay. But this is the divine. If you are going along with something that you maybe didn't realize that you didn't like, you could later have anger or frustration, and the divine is trying to tell you that that anger is letting you know something, that frustration is letting you know something, that defensiveness is letting you know something, you not being able to trust is letting you know something. And so it's taking a deeper look at that, but knowing when and where to put up a boundary, knowing when and where to say no, or to choose your battles wisely. You have to choose your battles wisely, especially in relationships. It's like, do I want to make a big deal out of this? Maybe I should. And eight of swords has also been coming out a lot. And there in this deck, this it's like this woman has a blindfold on because she doesn't want to read that book. And it's I don't want it's like a denying, it's a denial energy. I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it, but it's feeling trapped in your head because I know in this generation a lot of people have anxiety and mental health issues. um, I sometimes see it as the people that you're connecting with have a legal past. It can be feeling locked up, feeling feeling mentally abused. And the thing about this is that sometimes you do it to yourself because the Eight of Swords is an illusion. You can take off the blindfold and then read all the books, get all the knowledge. You can come out of that. It's an illusion. You're not really stuck. You're creating an environment. Some of you guys are very critical on yourselves as well. You're hard on yourselves, and it's not a good energy to be in at all. I hate the Eight of Swords. It's one of my least favorite cards, you guys, because it lets me know that maybe somebody's not being nice to you, or you're not being nice to yourself, and you're allowing other people to run your name through the mud or talk down to you or be abusive or something like that because of the way that you talk to yourself. It's an illusion. You can talk to yourself differently, and you can stand up to people, and you can come out of your head 100%. You can make a decision. You can make a choice. You don't have to overthink it. You can do some somatic exercises to get out of your head and get into your body. We have the Five of Wands. See, this is why I do collective readings, you guys, because when I see the same cards coming out in all the readings, it's something that everybody is experiencing. You're not alone in it. Five of Wands. And this is, to me, this is normal in a relationship because we don't talk about it a lot, but there are power struggles in relationships. And right now, the Five of Wands is coming out a lot for jobs because the labor market is very competitive right now, and so is the dating market. We're fighting, we're fighting for the attention of the same five jobs or the same five men or women out there. It's very competitive. It's very stiff. And it's, got people fighting with one another. Let me get some advice on this Five of Wands. And in a relationship, this is just ego battles or petty rivalry, or, sometimes we connect with people who are secretly jealous of us and we don't know that. And so we don't understand why there's fights or there's struggles. That's because that person is jealous of you. They want what you have, or we're trying really hard to look good to compete for the high value men or women because there aren't that many. We're trying really hard on our resume to stand out because all the jobs have 1,000 people applying for them. Keep what you're working on to yourself, okay? Gain knowledge in silence. Keep your plans to yourself. This is, the Seven of Swords is doing things in a calculating manner, not telling everybody about what you're doing. If you don't tell people about the things that you're going after, they can't destroy it, right? They can't destroy it for you, or they can't steal it from you, or they can't be jealous of something that they don't know that you're doing. And I don't see this in this deck as deception, as sneaky, because this isn't about somebody else. This is about you gaining knowledge or doing something to better yourself that you don't need to tell people about, like Seven of Swords. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. I'll pull some oracle cards. One last card. Queen of Swords. Yeah, I know this has been coming out for a lot of the signs as well. The Queen of Swords is the divorcee. And the thing is that a lot of the signs are sort of bitter because they've been hurt so much. So it's this energy of being cold, detaching, not being warm and fuzzy because you've been hurt too much. And I would like to not see this card anymore because the Queen of Swords can be good. You know, the Queen of Swords is a logical thinker. It's an air sign, okay? It's the Gemini energy, and we have that Jupiter in Gemini. It's a lot of you guys are really smart, are very, very smart, and you think a lot and you overthink. And some people find that as intimidating because they can't lie to you or they can't pull the wool over your eye. And because you've seen some stuff, you've been hurt before, and now you're not naive anymore, you know. So you only want the truth. You don't want the lies, you don't want the BS. But it sometimes means that you're acting cold or rude or cruel to people who just want to love you. So you got to be careful with that energy. It's a masculine energy. And in relationships, we want to be able to trust the person that we're dating or connecting or talking to. um, we don't have If we don't have a reason not to trust them, then it's safe to be in your feminine energy. This isn't about gender. This is about being warm and loving and emotional instead of cold, logical, discerning. I only want the truth. So hopefully you're connecting with people that you can, that you are safe to love. And then we have, I love this card in this deck. This is the moon. We have a full moon tomorrow. And on this deck, this is mad. You can, I don't know if you can read it, but it says madness. So a lot of people could be thinking that there's just something wrong with me and I can't be loved. But this is also a very emotional card. And during the full moon, emotions run high. This is Cancer and Pisces energy, ruled by the moon. I have emotions, but there can be secret sadness there that you're not telling people about because this is a subconscious. This is your subconscious mind. And there's a lot going on in there, right? In your subconscious mind, things could come to the surface during this full moon. This full moon could bring about a truth that you have to deal with that you maybe didn't know about before. So then we have to deal with that. Okay, you guys, let's get some oracle cards. So a lot of you guys could learn if you were dealing with something during Mercury retrograde, like let's say you had an argument with your partner or with your ex, or you found out something about your partner or your ex, you could find out more about that. Okay, so this is just a heads up at this full moon, and it's on a global scale that we're learning about things that were once hidden. Okay. Oh, we have receive. I love this. So when we open ourselves up to others, we open ourselves up to the abundance of the universe. So this is what I was saying with the Queen of Swords energy is with this card to where did it go? To be ready to receive love. And that means being in your feminine energy because if you're in your masculine energy and you're cold and detached, then you're not going to be able to receive love because the universe will give you what you're ready for. So be ready to receive love, heal the heart chakra. And then we have strength. Face your fear. Every challenge is a blessing in disguise, a gift that makes us stronger and more conscious and ultimately more alive. I love that for you guys. Okay, I'm going to get on out of here. I am going to be doing the earth signs pre-recording live, so look out for that. That's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm going to be doing a love reading, pre-recorded love reading for you guys on my channel. So if you want to watch that, you can go to my videos tab. I did just upload the water sign reading, and see if you want another Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio reading, you can go to the videos tab. And I hope this reading elevated your consciousness in some type of way, shape, or form. Good luck with this new full moon tomorrow, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.